Are you someone who's endlessly trying to find safe universities who's going to accept you? If you are, today I'm going to tell you how can you self-evaluate your profile, and based on your own evaluation, how can you find the perfect university which would be a great fit for you. And before we get onto that, I already made a video on how should you research your schools and what are some preliminary steps you should look into before you choose a university. Video link is on top and in the description below, so if you want to check that out, that would be great. So for this self-evaluation exercise, we're going to use a simple point method system where we're going to give points to 4 factors. And these 4 factors are the major factors for any university for taking a decision on your profile. These 4 factors are your GRE, IELTS, TOEFL score, your academic percentages, your job experience, and your extracurricular activities. So we're going to give a max of 100 points to GRE, a max of 70 points to your academic percentages, a max of 20 points to your IELTS and TOEFL, and a max of 5 points each to your extracurricular activities and your job experiences. So I've already created an evaluation structure for all of you, and the structure looks like this. So let's say if you get GRE score of 320, right? So you can give yourself 85 out of 100 points on the GRE factor. Versus if you get a 304, then you have to give yourself 58.5 out of the 100. So this way, so you can evaluate your GRE score with the point system I'm displaying on the screen. Now for your IELTS or TOEFL exam, this is the breakage of the points you can give yourself. Let's say if someone is giving a TOEFL exam and they score between 90 and 100, you can give yourself 16 out of 20 points for TOEFL. Versus if someone is giving IELTS and they scored a 7.5 or 8, they can assign themselves 18 out of 20 points on your IELTS test scores. Moving on to your undergrad percentages. And undergrad percentages, you could get a max of 70 points. So based on whatever your percentages was in your undergrad, you can assign yourself points from here. And based on your job experience and extracurricular activities, you can give a max of 5 points each from these 2 tables above. Okay, now, once you've done this exercise, sum up all the scores you received, and the score should not go beyond 200 points. And this is the breakage chart where if you score more than 194, you're applicable for grade A+ universities. Whereas someone is getting between 143 and 155, you're applicable for B+ grade universities. And there are a total of 8 categories which you could choose from. And there are a lot of universities here, like a wide range. So it will give you a very clear picture of what all universities you're applicable for. Now this was part 1 of your self-evaluation exercise. Once you've calculated the scores and you can look at all the boxes, the link will be in the description below where you can check out all these universities. The next step of this exercise is you'll have to choose 3 universities, either from the same table where your set of universities are applicable for you, or you can choose 1 or 2 universities from a table below. I'm asking you to choose 3 universities because one will be your ambitious option where the probability could be a little on a lower side, but that is your dream school. Second would be a safe choice where you feel roughly around 75 to 80% confident that that school will accept you. And the third choice would be somewhere between 90 to 95% surety that that school will accept your profile. Now, how will you evaluate these schools based on these probabilities? And this is what I'm going to tell you about in the next part of this video. How can you evaluate your universities and be sure in selecting your 3 choices, your ambitious, your safe, and your safest choice? So let's see how can we evaluate these schools. Now, your evaluation of universities or those 3 choices should be based on the most important factors, which are your acceptance rate, your enrollment size, the area of study that university has its expertise in, and the department size of that university. Now, what is acceptance rate? It is simply calculated by dividing the number of accepted students by the total number of applications that university received. And mind you, this is one of the most important factors to consider before choosing your ambitious, safe, and safest choice. Because acceptance rate will tell you how hard or easy it is to get into a university. Let me give you an example. Let's say College A is Harvard University and it gets 100,000 applications every semester for a computer science program, but it only accepts 5,000 students end of the day. So the acceptance rate for Harvard University is 5%. Whereas College B, it's Texas A&M University. It receives 10,000 applications and it accepts 5,000 students. So their acceptance rate becomes 50%. So I know the Harvard comparison with Texas A&M, like the ranking is very different, but end of the day, any of these schools could be one of your three choices between your ambitious, safe, and safest choice. So that is totally on you. Where do you want to categorize this school versus some other schools? Moving on to the next factor is very closely related with your acceptance rate. The next factor is your enrollment size of the university. Now, enrollment size means that, or what is the class size of a particular university in a particular program? For example, hypothetically speaking, if Harvard University accepts 30 to 50 students every semester in computer science program versus Texas A&M University enrolls 900 students every semester in computer science program, so the class size difference is approximately 850 students. So based on your acceptance rate and your class size, you can have a much clearer picture of how many applications that university is getting, what is their acceptance rate, what is their class size. So combining all these factors together, it will tell you that if that university is an ambitious, safe, or a safest choice for you. The next factor to look into in a university is the area of study that university has its expertise in. For example, let's say someone wants to go to engineering school. Now, you could choose Georgia Tech, which is one of the best engineering schools in the country. But if someone wants to go to MBA, they would not choose Georgia Tech. They would choose some other business school, which might has its area of expertise in MBA versus engineering. So overall, in my experience, most of the universities offer same programs and same courses. However, some universities excel in some courses or programs versus the others. So you definitely need to look at area of expertise that university has to offer before choosing your university. Now, one way to find that out is just Googling information and going by the word of mouth. But the other way to find that information is by looking at the department size and the number of professors teach in that department. Now, number of professors and department size tells you a big story about a university and how serious is that university for their particular program. For example, let's say Harvard has 70 to 80 professors in a department of engineering versus Texas A&M just has like 20 professors in the department of engineering. So the answer is right here that Harvard is obviously a much better school than Texas A&M University, but Harvard could be my ambitious choice. But I'm not 90 or 95% sure that Harvard would accept me. However, I could be a 90% sure that Texas A&M could accept me based on the self-evaluation exercise I just did and based on keeping these factors in mind. Now, other thing you guys should definitely look into is what are the professors and their background before choosing a university. And the best way to find that out is to go on the faculty page on your university's website and find the professors' names who you might be interacting with or who you might be taking courses with if you join that university. Once you find your professor's name and a potential university name, you can simply go on this website, ratemyprofessors.com, and find for a professor. I'm looking for my professor, which is Bohan. So Dr. Bohan has a rating of 4.5 out of 5, which is an excellent rating. And I also found a recent comment from May 13th, which says, pretty easy class, no homework to submit, just do the assignment and move on. There were only 2 tests and a group project, easy A. So these are the students who have taken classes with Dr. Bohan and they achieved an A in that class. So on this website, you can find any professor, any university, and you can anticipate how that class would be for you or how would the professor be with you when you take their classes. Now let me recap what we just talked about in this video. So we talked about providing you a self-evaluation score based on the point method system and the structure I talked about in the first part of the video. After you calculate your points, you will be assigned a set of universities which are a safe option for you. After you find that, you need to choose 3 options, either from the same table or from a table below, which will be your ambitious, your safe, and your safest choice. Now, in order to select these 3 choices, you need to evaluate all the universities in your table. And that evaluation could be done by the factors we discussed about in the second part of the video. And those factors are the acceptance rate, the enrollment size, the area of study that university has its expertise in, the number of professors or the department size of that university. So if you put part 1 of the video and calculate your total score, get a group assigned of universities, and then find 3 choices of your university, keeping these factors in mind, you will find the perfect 3 universities which could not only fit your profile, but you'll be very confident answering all these questions and choosing the safest and ambitious university for yourself. Now, a lot of you are asking me questions over Facebook with your concerns and queries. I really appreciate all of you who texted me on Facebook. Thank you so much. The better way of getting all your questions answered is follow my Instagram down below. I'm more active on Instagram, so if you direct message me there, I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. If you want me to create a video on some other topic which you want to gain some information and knowledge about, just leave down a comment below and I'll be more than happy to make a video on that topic. If you like my content in this video, please subscribe to my channel and press that like button below. It will help the channel grow tremendously and I can make more and more videos for all of you. And it'll also help the YouTube algorithm to find me and my channel very easily for you and others next time.